Hello and welcome to my video about taking your dog, cat or ferret abroad post-Brexit. It's a bit of a windy, stormy night here in the Outer Hebrides, so apologies if the camera's wobbling a bit, but that's what it's like here sometimes. It's a little bit windy. So as everybody knows, in the year 2021 the UK left the European Union, and as such an EU pet passport issued in the UK is no longer valid. In this video we're now going to be taking a look at post-Brexit travel from Great Britain to the EU Bloc and from the EU Bloc to Great Britain. We'll also be taking a look at ferry routes as well. Now we will be concentrating on travel between England and France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Spain, with a vehicle which most motorhomes and caravanners will be interested in. The information given in this video is given in good faith and is current at November 2021. However, the situation is changing all the time, so before travelling always check the UK government website, and I will leave a link in the description below this video. Now, as for Northern Ireland, on the 15th of September 2021, all checks on pets travelling into Northern Ireland were suspended because the last case of rabies in the islands was in 1922. So the situation with Northern Ireland is quite fluid, shall we say. So again, I will leave the DERA website link in the description below this video so you can check the situation with Northern Ireland. However, as I say, in this video we're going to be looking really at England to the EU Bloc, France, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain and so on. So we're going to kick off with travelling to the EU Bloc from Great Britain. So as I said, the EU pet passport issued in the UK is no longer valid, but don't throw it away. An EU pet passport issued in a current EU country such as Germany, Netherlands, France, that is still valid for travel between Great Britain and the EU Bloc. Now the good news is the procedure has not changed very much at all from what it used to be, and there is very little difference at all for holders of valid EU pet passports. The bad news is that if you live in Great Britain, while it is still possible to travel to the EU with your pet, it's become a lot more expensive and there are more hoops to jump through than they were before. In all cases, whether or not you're traveling from the EU or from the Great Britain, your pet must be microchipped and vaccinated against rabies. This will all be recorded in your EU pet passport, or for those of us in Great Britain now, in your animal health certificate. Yes, this is the new document you need to travel from Great Britain post-Brexit. Now you can get an animal health certificate from many vets in the UK, but not all vets. For example, here in the Western Isles, my vet could not issue an animal health certificate and we had to go to our old vet down in Dover, who luckily could. Now if you hold a defunct EU pet passport issued in the UK before 2021 and the rabies vaccination recorded inside is still valid, you can use this as proof of current rabies vaccination for when you get your animal health certificate. So as I say, do not throw your pet passport away. However, of course, if your pet does not have a rabies jab, then of course you will need to organise that first and make sure that you have that in plenty of time before going and getting your animal health certificate. Again, double check on the UK government website, link in the description below. So yes, getting an animal health certificate can sometimes be a bit of a challenge to find a vet who's actually willing to do one for you. Now the other issue with an animal health certificate, you need to book your appointment with the vet well in advance, because you cannot get your animal health certificate more than 10 days before you travel. So it's got to be within that window. Now, unlike an EU pet passport, which is valid for unlimited trips in its validity, its 3-year validity, an animal health certificate is only valid for one trip from Great Britain to the EU Bloc. So every time you leave Great Britain with your pet, if you're a UK resident, you need a new animal health certificate. But of course, if your rabies jab is still current, you don't need a new rabies jab as long as you've got proof. Now, once you've travelled into the EU Bloc from Great Britain, this then gives you, yeah, that was meant to happen. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. This is valid for, the animal health certificate is valid for one entry into the EU. And then once you're in the EU, you can travel with that within the EU countries with your pet for a period of up to 4 months and back to Great Britain. Now, do be aware, remember folks, that if you are a UK citizen without any special visa or residency as a tourist, remember, you're only allowed to spend 90 days in the EU in any 180-day period. So the longest you can stay is 90 days. But this is valid for 4 months inside the EU and to come back to Great Britain. Now, a huge sticking issue with the animal health certificate is the cost. You can pay, the costs vary wildly, and you can pay, I've heard people paying from as little as £120. We got it for £120. I've heard people having to pay up to £300 per pet per animal health certificate, which is outrageous. But the average price you can expect to pay for an animal health certificate, about £150 to £180. That is per trip, per pet. Unlike the pet passport, this was valid for 3 years. This cost us £40. Never mind. And if that wasn't bad enough, do remember that from the year 2022, UK citizens will also need to pay €7 per person as for a visa waiver document to enter the EU. Don't shoot the messenger. Now, as an aside, tapeworm treatment is necessary for dogs entering certain countries in the EU, but that does not include points of entry from English seaports, so Netherlands, France, Belgium, Spain. So we're not going to worry about tapeworm treatment in this video for entering the EU bloc from Great Britain. Now, if you're travelling from the EU bloc to Great Britain, this pretty much remains unchanged. The procedure remains unchanged, it's just the paperwork has changed. So coming to Great Britain, whether you or not you've got an animal health certificate or an EU pet passport, you still need to have your pet microchipped, still needs to have a valid rabies jab, but also a dog, not a cat fortunately, but a dog will need tapeworm treatment, and that has to come from a vet, and it has to be signed off and administered between 24 and 120 hours before you travel. That's nothing new. We've got Dougal's tapeworm certificates here from when we travelled before with his pet passport, and then on the animal health certificate, your vet should tell you, your British vet should tell you where the vet in an EU country should enter the tapeworm treatment. It's actually at the bottom of page 4. So there you go. Dougal's was done in Germany, and she's entered everything on the bottom of page 4 in the little boxes here, and we had no problems at all getting back. But we'll talk about the procedures towards the end of this video. So that really surmises the paperwork you need. As I say, if you are an EU resident or your pet has a pet passport issued in an EU country and it's still valid, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. But if you are a resident in Great Britain and your pet does not have a pet passport, or your EU pet passport was issued in the UK, then you will need to get an animal health certificate. So now, what about the actual journey between Great Britain and the EU with a pet? Now, on short sea routes, on short sea ferry routes like Dover to Calais, your pet normally stays in the car or in the motorhome. On longer sea routes like Harwich to the Hook of Holland, you might have the option of an onboard kennel for your dog. Me, I hate leaving my dog. He's never been in the kennel, and if you've ever been on the car deck while the ferry's been moving, you know, or you've been standing over one, you'll know that the din of constant car alarms going off, because people do not isolate their car alarms on ferries, and the car alarms go off for the entire crossing, and that would be really, really distressing to my dog. So I do not like to leave my dog in the car or in the motorhome if I'm on a ferry. My preferred operators would be, we always travel short sea. We go from Dover to Calais with Eurotunnel, because with Eurotunnel you stay in the car or the motorhome with the dog. Another two honourable mentions for longer routes are DFDS from Newcastle to Amsterdam and Brittany Ferries, because Brittany Ferries and DFDS on certain routes have pet-friendly cabins. Now, do not try to book a pet-friendly cabin online. It is a hiding to nothing. If you want a pet-friendly cabin with DFDS or with Brittany Ferries, take my advice and just phone the agents in the call centre, because they will be able to book it 100 times quicker. I have never been able, I've done a few phantom bookings, I've never been able to get a pet cabin trying to book online. So that's my tips. If you are travelling short sea, Dover Calais, for us it's Eurotunnel every time, because you stay in the car or the motorhome with your pet. Now, when you are travelling from Great Britain to the EU Bloc, there is a new procedure now, and that is when we travelled with Eurotunnel, there is a new pet check-in, and that comes after the vehicle check-in at Folkestone. So at Eurotunnel, you check in with your vehicle, and then you do not get your boarding pass anymore if you've got a pet. You have to go to the pet check-in after vehicle check-in at Folkestone. You know, you take your pet, your microchipped pet, and your documentation to the pet check-in. They'll ask you to scan your dog, they'll check the paperwork, and then they will give you your boarding pass that you hang up in from your rear view mirror to board the shuttle. You do not get your boarding pass at vehicle check-in anymore with Eurotunnel because of the new pet check-in. When you're coming back to Great Britain from Calais with Eurotunnel, it's a slightly different procedure. It's the same as it always was before if you've done it before, but it's different to leaving Great Britain. When you leave Folkestone, it's vehicle check-in, then pet check-in. But in Calais, you go and check in your pet first. So as you come over the bridge, entering the Eurotunnel complex, you want the right-hand lane, fork right, is well signposted, pet check-in. You have your pet's documentation checked off before you get to vehicle check-in. So you have to park up, plenty of room for caravans and motorhomes. Park up, take your pet and documentation into the office. Again, scan your pet, they'll check your documentation, check the worming has been carried out, and then they will give you sort of a little ticket to say, yes, your dog has been checked in. And then you go to vehicle check-in, and that's where you will get your boarding pass as normal. So really, not a lot has changed, folks. The procedures really haven't changed. You've just got this extra check-in procedure now in the UK. And if you have an EU pet passport, really nothing's changed much at all. But if you have an EU pet passport issued in the UK, or you're a UK resident, your animal needs a certificate, you need to get this new animal health certificate from your vet, or if your vet doesn't issue them, you need to organise this and make sure it's all done and the rabies are up to date and everything is sorted, and you get your new certificate within 10 days of travel. But really the actual procedure has not changed much at all. Now I'm going to leave, once again folks, I'm going to leave a link to the UK government website in the description below this video. So if you've got any questions at all about the procedure, or if you've got any questions about any other routes, like if you're coming in from South Africa or from the United States or anything, because I'm only dealing with the EU here, please check out the UK government website. It will tell you everything you need to know. I am going to switch the comments off to this video, folks. So if you want any further information, please check the UK government website, and also make sure you check it in case anything has changed since you watched this video. Now, if any of these new procedures upset you in any way, shape or form, then leaving an angry comment to a YouTube video is not going to change anything. We don't do politics on this channel, and that's not to change. All I'm doing is explaining to you what's changed since the UK left the EU. So please don't take it personally. The comments are closed on this video. If you want further information, check out the UK government website, and if you want to complain about it or praise the process, write to your MP. So I hope you found that useful, folks. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already, and it just leaves me to say from Dougal and from me, thanks for tuning in. There. Did you like going overseas, Dougal? Did you like going over Germany? Did you like going on the train? Do you like going over? Do you want to go again? Are you excited about going again to Germany? Are you excited about the next caravan trip? Are you excited about absolutely anything? He never smiles.